Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for the 2024 Tennessee State Disc Golf Championships presented by DG1. We are back at the Rotary course one more time for this event. Run Productions bringing you coverage of this A-tier. I am Felix.
And I'm Conrad.
Conrad, we're back. It's been about a year since we've been here. We covered this event a couple years back. Got to see Chris Dickerson take it down. Braden Sides, the winner last year, but not here to defend the crown this year. But we've got a pretty star-studded card.
Yeah, it's a familiar stretch that we are going to run through here on all 3 days here. Let's take a look at who we have on this first stretch. Is the man himself, Chris Dickerson. My fault. 6-time Tennessee State champion, Chris Dickerson. We've seen him before. Harper Thompson. It feels like we've been watching him play for the last 4 or 5 years. It's great to see.
We have been. He's been quite a fixture on our channel for a bit there. Our good buddy Zach Melton, 4 podium finishes at this event. No stranger to Tennessee disc golf. And looks like we've got the Shue on the other foot here, Grady Shue. Paige also taking part on the FPO side this weekend. Gonna kick things off here at hole 1, Rotary Park at Frank Lorino Park. Hole 1 is par 3, 435 feet. A booming hyzer for these guys to step up to. Not much trouble to be had here. A little bit of trouble on the left-hand side if you fade a little bit much on the hyzer angle, but relatively stock hyzer for this level of field that we have here to start things off on hole 1.
If you're familiar with this course, with this hole at all, you'll realize that
the MPO division, first on the tee, 6-time Tennessee State champion, Chris Dickerson.
there's normally some OB that plays in that canyon that runs along this hole in the next few holes. Well, for this hole, they have decided that will not be OB, that you will take relief. So basically giving the green light for shots like this to try to run it.
Ooh.
And second on the tee, Harper Thompson.
Yeah, Chris getting it down there nicely. Harper Thompson here. We've seen him play several events on the channel. I've had him on multiple times here. And he's swinging this one nice and wide. Looking to finish back towards the left. That should leave him a look.
Zach Melton.
And while the light poles really should not come into play, they are definitely in your mind. This first one, you have to decide if you're going left or right. And the second one, you're either aiming at it or, basically you're aiming at it.
I'm so used to it being there that I didn't even see it until you mentioned it.
Oh, trust me, they see it.
Yeah.
If you do a flex, you go on the left side. If you're going pure hyzer, you go on the right side. So all of these guys are going pure hyzer and taking the right side here.
That might be a little too straight here for Grady. That's kind of the one mistake you see a bit more often, as he is down there by hole 2's tee pad.
Yeah, he's actually past the basket and the tee pad there. That giving somewhat of a bid there.
That's a tricky one, having to stop your momentum after jump putting down a hill. Ooh, Grady getting a little spicy with that one.
So he's taking the relief. There is no penalty for this. He's taking the relief at the top. He did go into the ditch.
Okay.
So you play it as if it went OB, but you don't take the penalty stroke. So you mark it a meter in from the line, and you're able to get a sneaky birdie.
I'm sure he's not complaining about that one.
He's not. Everyone else is.
Oh, Harper. A little touch high there.
You're ready to tap it into his par. I don't know who's playing, if that's Zach or if that's Vinny. I can't tell from the shirt.
They're the same person, I think.
All right, off to hole 2. Hole 2 is a par 3 coming in at 240. The distance isn't the trick here. The trick is getting this shot in this angle right. You got to get it around this curve, either skip off this hill or have it float in the air coming around towards the basket again. The ditch is not playing as OB, so it's not as tricky. You can try to run it basically. I think they're trying to give a green light for some fireworks here. I should say this isn't difficult for a righty is what I should say.
Yeah, and it kind of depends on the time of year too, and how much maintenance has been done on the actual course, because the grass there on the right-hand side can definitely chew up your disc.
It can.
But it looks like the Parks Department has come through and given this course a nice fresh cut, so we should see some nice bounces towards the end of these flights here. That one may be a little high, but there's the big bounce.
And that was up close towards the fence. So either he got a good bounce down towards the basket, or he may be suspended up there somewhere. Oh, I forgot Zach throws a lefty forehand.
Yep. That should be a good shot there.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like the same disc Grady threw on hole 1.
No, I would think that he throws something more stable.
Thank you.
240 is that tricky distance, but the angle itself. Oh, somebody's caught in the tree here. The angle of approach here kind of dictates your disc selection to maybe club up to something a little faster and get that wing skip at the end.
Yeah, we see Harper. He is just looking for a hole to punch through at this point because he is still up top with the baseball field. Yep.
Chris lining up the stepper that he's very well known for.
Having a battle with tree there in his stance.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
2 for 2 start for Chris here. This one, Rotary Park, probably the more friendly of the two parks. Panther Creek will be the other one that you're going to see highlighted in rounds 2 and 3.
You said probably like there's a question about it. It's no question.
You definitely want to get off to a hot start and do the bulk of your early scoring here.
Yes.
You don't want to have
Harper
to
able to
depend
save
on
that.
Panther.
Yep. Harper able to save that par there. Now we're just going to have a putt off with the remaining players here. Grady with his bird. Let's see what Zach can do.
I feel like Grady doesn't get enough credit for how solid of a putter he actually is. He's very controlled, very committed every time, and just seems to hit center so often. Nice birdie there for Melton.
Wish you were here, Felix. Wish you were here.
I'm right here, buddy. You don't see me? We appreciate you guys checking out the coverage. Check us out on all of our socials at Ace Run Pro. And if you're digging the coverage, go ahead and hit that like button. Give us a subscribe as we try to grow the channel and bring you more coverage like this throughout the nation. Back to the action here in hole 3, par 3, 370 feet. This is a tricky one, left to right. Not a ton of danger here as this one, kind of that last tree, your last beacon of danger as you approach this green. There is out of bounds in the parking lot deep. Kind of hard to reach though. Very tricky angle though for specifically a righty. This one might be one that Zach looks to feast on.
All right, Zach, he's giving you a high bar here.
Just don't hit it. Are you short of it?
Yep, the forehand is a play here. You can do a turnover with the right shot. I can't remember how big the window is to get it up, because you're throwing from an elevated tee. All right, yeah, that looks good.
That should be good, yeah.
This is strange for us with the single cam stuff. We're not used to this. We're used to seeing both sides of the disc there.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a bonus for us. I was out in Portland when this event was being filmed, so Conrad went out there with the camera and captured this for us. So big thank you and shout out to Conrad for being out there, especially having to deal with Panther Creek for 2 days.
Oh my goodness! Don't remind me. I just caught a cramp thinking about hole 5 and 11.
Looks like, oh, that sounds good. Looks like 4 clean drives for the group here.
Dickerson's up first. Like he was just inside since he didn't step. Didn't matter. He's 3 for 3 here.
Getting them all so far. Zach with a beautiful drive, and he is going to get punished by a bouncy basket. A little low there for Zach.
Mm-hmm. Harper connecting to get his first birdie of the round.
Grady with an
And
absolute dime.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was a headbanger there. I'm glad he didn't hit his head on the basket picking up the disc. All right, hole 4 is a par 4 coming in at 500 feet. The tricky part is getting out of this gauntlet of trees. Didn't even know which way to grow with the drone here. Once you get out to the opening, though, then it's just a nice little stretch down here to the opening. You'll see that they have trees planted here. They're doing a little bit of adding to the course. They had to modify the next hole, so they're adding to this hole as well. But the main thing is when you get down to the green area, you don't want to go long past the basket. There is OB eventually down there.
I was going to ask if that big ditch is still back there. I remember it drops off, and then there's eventual, OB. Chris, forehand roller.
Yeah.
Oh, no. We get the out of bounds graphic there, so something must have happened.
Yeah.
This is the typical play that you'll see from a righty as a forehand out.
Yeah. It gives you it opens up the gap the most, and really you're not trying for distance. You're just trying to get out to the opening and get out enough to have another shot down towards the basket. Harper's going to end up out there, but he's going to be further back, but he can still reach the basket from where he is.
Yeah, this hole is very much about the second shot. The first shot is just get out of this gap, and these guys all throw far enough to be able to make that second shot. One that gives them a birdie look. Harper a little further back than he'd like to be, but he does have both the sidearm and the backhand, going with the sidearm here.
Yeah, and that is going nicely toward the green. He will have a look at a putt from there. It's hard to determine exactly where the basket is, but he should be just outside the circle, I believe. Grady's going with a forehand as well.
Not sure. I don't know if Grady throws the scepter, but that's that shot had scepter written all over it from Infinite Disc.
Now we see a peek at the basket, and Zach is right there. Bullseye looks like. Now it's time to find Chris's disc. Oh, he came over here.
Oh, I'll be left.
I didn't even think to mention that there was OB on the left, because that's another hole. He left a little meat on that one, though.
Oh, you can see there. Yeah, he got a lot on that roller, because that grass isn't necessarily easy to get that roller going that far. Still saves a par with a good putt there.
Another basket hit at the band hit for Harper.
A little tough to see. I don't Don't particularly know if there's a bit of a lifting wind there. Chris's putt was from a similar angle and seemed to stay true.
Yeah, there's a slight breeze. I don't think it's that much. I think it's still whatever happened to him on hole 1 is still happening. So I don't know if it's just his aiming point, or I would think that it wouldn't be nerves at this point.
Yeah. Nonetheless, picking up the par, Zach here after that beautiful upshot. Rewarded with the birdie. Zach putting with the new jury from Dynamic Disc, making the switch after putting with judges for so many years.
All right, we're going to look at hole 5 here. Hole 5 is different than any other year that we played it because this is a new hole. They're doing some construction over there on the right, so we'll see that there's tall grass on the right. All of the tall grass is OB. You have that one tree that's here on the left that's kind of guarding your route to the basket. All you have to do is miss that and land inside the circle. A putt should be easy, right?
Sure.
As long as you don't end up OB. That OB is inside the circle, so.
I was just going to say that right side OB looks pretty tight to the target.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you
got to give it some teeth with it being such a short hole. Grady misses the tree, and that's basically all you got to do right there.
Well done there. Assuming Zach going with some kind of putter here. This looks fantastic as well.
A little bit past it, but that's fine.
Chris, I'm guessing this is his Challenger OS that he loves throwing. Putting some turn on it. That should be fine.
Yep. And Harper going a little higher route, still misses the tree, so he should be good.
No righty hyzers. That's a little surprising because it fades away from the OB, but these guys are all in the circle, so I'll go ahead and shut my mouth. The right side pocket there for Chris.
I'm going to wait for everyone to putt and in order to tell you they know what they're doing.
Harper putting it home there. 2 for 2 on the potential star frame here on hole 5.
That's the third. Now, if Grady does it, everyone come back and shake the chains.
Well done by our featured card here on hole 5. Action here, hole 6, par 3, 310 feet. A familiar hold here. You have that backstop there on the right hand side, that netting to kind of help guide your disc back over there. It's out of bounds, so if you go over that, basically throwing a straight or a hyzer shot here, trying to find your way through this set of guardian trees towards the pin here. These last couple of trees are your last big obstacles to kind of navigate through. See some skip shots, some flip ups, maybe some forehands, a couple different ways to attack this hole here.
Yeah, I think the trickiest part about this hole is that it's sloping away from you gradually the entire time. So making sure that this has the right pace to get there but not go too far. Grady didn't quite get there, but he should still have a look at a putt here.
Yeah, it's a little odd because the green itself is relatively fast, but the circle 2-ish area is a little slow. So depending on where you hit, you can either be 60 feet short or you can go past it by 60 feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to smack that tree. Yep.
Yeah.
It's also a little bit of a low ceiling as you come in here. You navigate those last sets of trees. This might be a little too high. Oh, sneaks through, but
or
now
a little
it's
bit too
gone.
much. Yeah.
Chris lining up an Annie approach here, looking to flatten out as it gets to the green, and it does just so.
Yep.
How are the vibes on this car? I mean, these guys have all played together before, I believe, but pretty much a friendly group. Most of these guys know each other. Harper may be the one that doesn't play quite as much with these guys, but was it lighthearted?
Oh, yeah. Oh. Almost in. Yeah. Anytime you have Zach on the car, there's just going to be giggles and laughter and, oh, Grady off the basket there. And just him and Chris, it doesn't matter who else you have on the card. It's just going to be a nice little vibe there.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Man.
What does this basket have on? Like, there you go.
There's the par putt. Yeah, it's rare that you get, and we've had Zach on the channel so many times, and we've seen him shoot hot, and we've seen him shoot not hot. But the one thing that always is there is he's always keeping the mood up. He's keeping it lighthearted. He's motivating. He's cheering on other shots. It's just such a good guy to have on the card.
Hole 7 is a tricky one here. It is a par 4 coming in at 400 feet. First, you got to get through this little hallway of trees. I don't remember if this left is OB or if they're playing it as the hazard again. Hopefully, it doesn't come into play, so we don't have to find out. Typically, you go down, you don't take the route the drone is going, you go down a little bit further, then you turn up towards the tree to try to get to the basket. There is a potential roller route here that can get you the eagle. We'll see if anyone goes for that or if everyone is going to play for the easy birdie that it is.
I can see Chris going vortex roller on this. He always seems to try to kind of feast on these eagle bull holes.
Ooh, that's 2 straight.
Yeah, it's not a terrible look. I mean, it's a par 4. He can get up and down from there.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, if we're talking about these MPO players, they're definitely trying to get to the circle here.
Yeah. Zach flipping up beautifully. If that gets some skip, he's going to have himself a look. Oh, little dead skip.
Yep. Trying to work his way up the hill.
Oh, that's a vortex in hand. We've got roller coming for Chris here. Snaps it down, gets a weird bounce there, but still fights up.
Yeah. Hopefully he's not obstructed by the tree. He's the closest one thus far.
That vortex is so much fun. If you AMs haven't thrown a vortex from DGA and you have a slower arm speed, man, it's a flippy 7 speed and it just gets in the air and goes. And obviously for higher speed players like Chris, just snap hook rollers. It's a lot of fun. Grady with the pitch up there.
Yeah, that was a long bid there.
Speaking of long bid, Zach, a little closer than I thought from the initial camera angle. Looked like he was more like 90 feet away. And that big tree you see in front of the basket there kind of gets in everybody's head a little bit.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely an obstacle either side that you're on it.
And if you nick it, it's just roll away city.
Oh, so close.
Goodness, what a bid.
So with that said, everyone should be able to clean up their birdies here. I mean, everyone's inside. Oh, my gosh. Like, everyone's tapping range.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris was definitely trying to get that eagle on the card there.
Yeah, a couple of easy cleanups here for the rest of the squad. Grady, center again. I'm telling you, watch his putt. Like, the amount of times he doesn't hit center, you can count on one hand.
Nice putt, Chris.
Hole 8, 375 feet. This one is definitely tricky. par 3, very specific shot shape that you have to navigate here. It's just a very slight left to right. You've got that ditch on your left hand side to kind of contend with. Then all of a sudden it starts to swing back around up and to the right. Again, potential roller, but forehands, probably the dominant play for the righties. Lefties should be cleaning up on this hole as well, but man, it's a tight one. You can see Grady setting up on that extreme left-hand corner of the tee box there, trying to open up the gap as much as he can.
Mm-hmm.
That looks pretty good.
And I don't think this shapes up well to like try to get there from the tee. I think everyone is just trying to get to a landing zone to then approach.
Good.
I mean, this arguably could be a par 4.
It could be.
The distance doesn't really dictate it, but I mean, it could be.
It's 25 feet shorter than the previous hole, but the element of, oh gosh, the type of shot that you have to execute on it may be even more difficult than the previous hole.
Oh, it definitely is more difficult, and there's more danger because like you're throwing either this forehand or a turnover that if it hits a tree and goes to the left, is definitely in the ditch.
Yeah.
You can see all 4 of them are right there in the same area, basically just having to contend with these 2 trees to get up the hill, and that's what you want to do. You want to go past the basket. You don't want to land on the hill and have the potential roll away.
Yeah.
So you're definitely trying to get past the basket here.
It's not getting tricky with a nice Annie forehand up the hill. Chris can give this a sneaky little bid. Okay, he gets it back there. Nicely done.
That other tree on the right prevented him from like giving it a good bid. Everyone is just trying to get it back there to have a nice, easy tap in to walk away with the par. I'd be interested if they, well, I say that and then Grady goes right at it. I'd be interested to see if they start playing some of the more alternate positions.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's another alternate. What?
Oh my.
Wow. At least it stayed up.
Yeah.
You don't expect Chris to miss that type of putt, but back to what I was saying, there's alternate positions that they don't play. They typically play this OG layout, but the alternate positions, I think, would add some more teeth to this. And with this being a Tennessee State's championship, I think it's worthy.
Yeah,
to have a slightly more difficult layout.
First blemish we're going to see for Chris today.
Like a touch right, but then trying to hold it, pushed out. What it looked like.
Missing. Taking the risk.
All right, hole 9. It's a nice little par 3, 305. What you want to do is play it over here to the right. Select which gap you want to go through so that it shoots back over to the left to get to the basket. Most people are not going to play past that last tree. They're going to find a gap to go in between. It just has a higher probability of getting closer to the basket. And of course, that's what you want to do when you're wrapping up the front 9. I'm going to wrap it up with a birdie.
Yeah, there's a lot of avenues to kind of punch through that last bit of trees there, so it's almost a bit of poke and pray at the end. But there's like that main gap, but Grady actually tried to cut inside of that second to last tree there.
Yep, and got knocked down.
If you push too far, it kind of takes away the birdie look. But if you cut inside like that, you may get clobbered by some lumber.
Yeah, Zach tried to do the little skip flare over there, and that, I mean, there's a gap. You just have to poke and pray that you find it like that.
There you go. Yeah.
I keep seeing Chris's shirt. There was a Tesla, the exact same color with the same stripe. I'm like, Chris, you driving a Tesla? He's like, I can't afford to have my clothes match my car. So it wasn't his car.
All right. That just means Discraft needs to pay this man more. He's out there grinding.
They just need to get him a car that matches his shirts.
Yeah.
They need a different car for every day of the event.
We're calling you out, Discraft. We'll do it for you, Chris. Oh, Grady Shue.
Good. That one wasn't center.
That's one. So that I said it was going to be a handful at the most. That's one. Nevertheless, getting that right side and getting it to stick.
I haven't figured out why Zach calls him Gary instead of Grady.
Instead of Grady. I get it. Just switch the letters around. And take away the D. Maybe somebody called him Gary Shue on like a talk show or something, and
Zach just runs
with it. Yeah. I mean, Yuli still calls Paige Shue Paige Bajirkis. And Doug Bajirkis instead of Bjerkis.
That's what you want to see there. Another birdie on the card.
That's going to wrap up our front nine here. Round one from the Rotary Club. Got back nine action coming your way. Stay tuned here to Ace Run Productions again. Hit that like and subscribe button. Check us out on all of our socials at Ace Run Pro. And if you haven't already done so, check out our Patreon. Our Patreon viewers get to view this early as we drop this ahead of time. Always getting extra access. It's patreon.com/AceRunPro. We'll see you right back here for the back nine of round one of the Tennessee State Championships.